Make love, not war. Peace out, you know what I'm saying?
This week on Monster House,
What the hell did I get myself into?
we take a groovy trip back to the psychedelic 60s as Steve and his hippie horde turn a commune storefront into a shagadelic performance space.
It's gonna rock.
This week we're heading back in time, building the 60s hippie house.
Our house was plain and simple. It was safe and normal. It was nice and sweet. But we all agreed we could use a change. And then something happened that was very strange. Cause a van showed up, all our stuff went flying. And my mom was crying till the job was done. Now it's a monster house. It's a monster house. It's a monster house. And we all just love it. It's a monster house.
Meet the folks who live in this funky artists' commune, affectionately known as the Sugar Shack.
Kind of like a cross between like an eccentric artist's house and like a crack den.
There's a lot of inspiration, there's a lot of synergy, there's a lot of people doing stuff together.
An old Victorian mansion with a storefront on one side and a warehouse in the back, the Sugar Shack houses both living and working space.
We usually have between 12 and 15 people in the house.
Everybody here has a very artistic sense.
The attraction to Sugar was to have like-minded creative people to work with and to have space to work.
The front of the house used to be a clothing store. Now it's the community room and library.
I've used it to rehearse for my shows.
Maybe it's performing, maybe it's dancing. It's such a great big open space.
But these rooms have seen better days and are in dire need of some monster love.
It needs some work, let's say.
To send this pad out of sight, Steve brings in designer Jim Allen.
Well, Jim, thanks again for coming out and giving me a hand with this one. Got this huge house, it's a huge piece of property, and it's basically a commune. And it feels very 60s, very, you know,
Sounds like
very
sounds
hippie,
like the old
you know.
hippies, yeah.
Now this is our community room that's in that's right behind the storefront, right off the street. And I think that'd be a good place for us to build. They like to use the stage for, you know, poetry readings or acoustic music shows or whatever. But they also would like to use the stage, you know, to put on bands and stuff like that.
Well, maybe if we do something that actually transforms, it starts one way and then turns into something else.
We'll build a new stage that, with the flick of a switch, transforms from laid-back folk club into a far-out rock and roll light show.
So now we've got this area up here I'd like to do something with. That's the library.
Well, why don't we stay in that same realm and maybe do the, you know, the psychedelic room or the hippie lounge kind of thing.
Right. You know, I'm thinking like lava lamps and stuff like that.
Okay.
If we could do something like that in that area.
Maybe bookshelves?
Maybe build a platform out, give them some railing.
Okay.
And that would double because you've got a place where you can go out, you could stand on the balcony, watch the stage.
The old library gets a balcony for checking out the scene below. Sliding doors open to a psychedelic lounge that includes a pair of totally groovy bookshelves.
We have this whole area right here, and I'd like to do something there.
If we took this and say it's Woodstock or it's a Loving, what'd they do there? They had a stage, they're out in the middle of a field, and everybody came, they set up tents, they drove in Volkswagen buses.
Well, what we could do is we could find an old school bus, you know, like the Magic Bus.
Oh, yeah, there you go, Magic Bus.
We could bring that thing in there, but if we're going to do that, it needs to be functional.
Yeah,
We
a
can-
refreshment stand almost. You could take the windows out and have people behind there, and people could go up and, you know.
That's a great
have
idea.
drinks.
A vintage 60s school bus will be chopped down to become the hippie bar.
What day is it?
It's Monday!
Out of a purple haze, Steve rolls in with this week's crew.
All right, guys, come on out.
Mark Chrysler, custom car body man. Kent Luttrell, Hollywood stunt rigger. Jimmy Warren, construction superintendent. Kent Buckman, master glazier. Curtis Bedford, general contractor. If these 5 flower children can smoke this build by midnight Friday, they'll each receive prizes from Porter Cable, Delta, ESOB, and Autodesk worth over $7 grand.
Well, how's it going, guys? It's time to kick you guys out of there. Since there's quite a few of you, you're not going to be staying in the RV this week. You're going to be staying in the house, but we're going to keep this part off limits. The community room and the library, we're gonna take that, so you guys have to promise not to peek. No peeking.
I have a hard time with no people.
You have to do your best.
Do our best.
You don't want to spoil the surprise.
I can handle it.
All right, so I'm gonna get this gang to work, and I'm gonna take those keys from you. Thank you very much. All right, guys, have a good day. All right, guys, come on in. You can look around, you can see the place is a little bit different. It's kind of a communal type place. A lot of people live here. So what we decided to do was do sort of a 60s hippie theme. And I'm just gonna go ahead and show you what we're gonna get started on. Right here, since we are doing the 60s hippie theme, we're doing the Magic School Bus, the Magic Bus Bar. All right, bartender on the inside delivering drinks or whatnot through the windows. All right, cool. And follow me right over here. Psychedelic Lounge. We're gonna build this out, fabricate some steps. We're gonna build this banister around there. We're gonna have 3 lava lamp looking sliding doors. Those things slide to give you access. And what we're gonna do inside, that's sort of their library up top. They have lots of books and stuff. So we're gonna build this lava bookshelf, same thing right here with the lava lamp effect. That's gonna go on this side. And then over on the other side, since it's the 60s, gonna build the peace sign shelf over there. All good?
Yeah.
Follow me up to the stage. They have lots of shows and stuff here. They have poetry readings. They have some comedy every now and then. So we're gonna build this stage, but it's gonna be a transforming stage. This is the first part. It's more subdued, more subtle. Got the curtains, got the valance here. For the second part of that, they also play music here every now and then. So what happens, these curtains spin around to reveal these speakers, and this light panel goes down to create this sort of psychedelic light effect in the back, and you've got this drum riser that comes out of the floor. And that's what we're gonna do. That's it, guys. You got 5 days. You got to pull all this stuff off. And Friday night at midnight, the clock's gonna hit zeros. When it hits zeros, the tools have to be laid down. Be safe and just make it cool, make it monster, all right?
What better way to kick off a 60s build than a demonstration?
Something just special about tearing some stuff up on a Monday morning. Kind of makes me feel all warm and fuzzy.
Show you a trick, just like this. Where we going? Stand it up. Hope we don't get killed doing this.
Me too. Okay, hold on to it.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Let go of it.
Hey, guys. They could have just come through the door.
Back inside, a soffit above the storefront windows needs to be partly cut out to make room for the bus. The job gets turned over to the team of Kent and Kent. That's Big Kent and Little Kent.
I'm no mechanical genius. I'm just a country boy.
I love demo. Sweet. All right, so that thing's down. Good, good.
By midday, the builders finally get down to building. Curtis starts framing up the 40-inch wide balcony for the library.
First, we're given the list of stuff to do. I went, okay, wow, this is gonna be fun, but this is gonna be, what the hell did I get myself into?
Jimmy takes charge of laying out the new stage that will eventually house a whole lot of moving parts.
I gotta put a radius. Everything's gotta go off the center. I've got a platform that's gotta come up, and I gotta make up a radius out here.
This construction supervisor has been building since he was a boy.
I came up through the trades. I was framing houses right out of high school back in '85, doing everything, framing, flooring, cabinets, paint, drywall, all of it.
Mark's first job will be installing the drum riser.
Let's extend it and roll it over.
The plan is to use a Presto lift that can raise 1,500 pounds.
Gonna grind the edge off so I can get this mounted and welded to this plate so it doesn't shift at all. We're gonna mount this metal plate to the concrete floor.
Over at the Psychedelic Lounge, Big Kent and Curtis blast through the balcony.
This one goes down at that end. This one's going on this end. I'm just framing in the walls that are gonna go on the ends, and then we're gonna stick a deck on the top of it, get a railing all the way around it, and at this end we're gonna stick some sort of staircase down.
General contractor Curtis was once contracted to build a museum for generals.
Probably one of the things I'm most proud about is I spent 10 months designing and fabricating a private military museum in Petaluma, California. There's dioramas, we built display cases. For me, it's some of my best work.
1, 2.
At 8, the guys come together to center the drum riser.
So we need to come off that wall 6 inches. No, hold on, I blew that. All we gotta do is move it 6 inches out. Go. 92 and 5/8.
I got 94 and a half. I got 24 and 5.
I got 24 and 3/16.
They discover that getting centered is never easy.
Still gotta go that way. So hold it right there. We're there.
5, 6, 7, 8. Tuesday!
Curtis is itching to put his balcony behind him.
We're just gonna wrap this entire structure in plywood. That's gonna give it all sheer, which is, it won't rack anymore. It'll be completely solid. I was so tired I couldn't go to sleep last night. And when I finally did go to sleep, every hour I was up looking at the clock, I'm back to sleep.
Out front, Little Kent's meditating on the build's biggest challenge: how to get the stage's many moving parts to move.
Just trying to figure out how to put that light board together and get it to go up and get the speakers to turn. I just have to kind of make do with what we have, get the right actuators, and hope it all works by Friday. I mean, there's a serious amount of work to be done.
Ooh, what's he doing? Hello.
Hello.
Who are you?
I'm Curtis again.
Hi, Curtis. I'm Yvonne again. This is our behind-the-scenes camera.
Apparently the trick to these is just to have them around your neck. You don't actually have to have them in your ears for you to be safe.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Wow. How's it going out here?
It's a little warm.
It's a little warm.
Today, Mark begins the build's most tedious project: custom fabricating a 15-foot-long steel railing for the balcony.
Trying to cut all the pieces, and all I have to do is weld them together instead of going as cutting pieces as I go.
Local building codes specify no more than 4 inches between railing posts, so he uses 2x4s as a jig. As a custom car builder, Mark's no stranger to steel.
Been around cars my entire life. My grandfather owns a shop back in a small town called Malvern, Iowa. The main thing that got me into the customization thing is I've always been an artist, so I've always been into painting, and so it was just a bigger medium for me. It was also a way to outdo the jocks, so, you know, the guys that could tackle you couldn't keep up with you, so there was something to be said about that.
Steve grinds his way to work in a blast from the past.
I just couldn't imagine doing a hippie theme without putting a magic bus in there somewhere.
So he rolls up in our future bar, a 1966 Ford B700 school bus.
Done! Put a big done stamp on that bad boy.
To allow more room for the bus, Big Kent wants to keep the balcony stairs steep.
We're gonna build a ladder / stairs coming off here, pretty steep pitch.
Jimmy rips particle board to sheet the stage, while Curtis stays one step ahead of him on framing.
Well, I gotta put an access over there. So I might as well, I'll make a matching access door here.
Inside the main house, Yvonne's cooking lunch for the builders.
Good. It's good. So we've got meatball subs and grilled vegetable subs. Most every day somebody's cooking. Some of us are vegan, some are vegetarian, some don't eat wheat, some don't eat tomatoes. It's always fun trying to cook for everybody. But every Sunday we have a meal together. There's like 15 of us average.
Steve and the crew dig in.
But videotape me cooking this, so I figure I can videotape you guys eating it.
There you go. That works.
Hi, Mark. I'm Yvonne.
And Yvonne digs for clues about what they're building.
What do you think of the plans? Are they crazy? What are they doing?
There's a lot to build.
You know, we can't really comment on the plan.
You can comment on the difficulty. Do you think you can meet the challenge?
it seems
I think we can meet the challenge, yeah.
Okay.
After lunch, little Kent kicks off the lava lamp bookshelf.
Making one of the bookcases, just steel tubing. Gonna knit it together with some welding and put a light box in the center of it.
Kent's a Hollywood gadget guy working in and behind the scenes.
For the past 15 years, I've been a stuntman and stunt equipment rigger. Kind of mechanically oriented, I guess, you know, welding and carpentry and all that kind of stuff.
Over on the main stage, the guys debate how to construct a platform on top of the lift big enough to hold an entire drum kit.
What I was thinking is like 3 trusses, front to back, box out the back so that we can float the steel on the outside, because this thing needs to be made out of steel.
Yeah.
I don't think the lumber's gonna cover it.
Well, I'll get some dimensions and I'll start cutting for that.
Curtis welds together the trusses that will support the riser floor.
I gotta make 5 5-footers and then 3 other little ones. And then this whole framework is gonna get welded to the top of that lift. It's gonna rock.
At 7, Mark separates the front clip from the mothership. The plan is to scavenge the bus's sheet metal skin, then reassemble it inside on a tube steel frame.
Once we get the original front sheet metal in, then we'll be able to do measurements so we know how much of the side of the bus that we need to cut off.
On stage, Jimmy and Kent cut and drive home the last sheets of flooring.
Good deal.
At 12:30, the truss for the drum riser is done. The guys give it a whirl and call it a night.
It's Wednesday.
Jimmy shows up early to contemplate the bus.